So right now I'm looking at the prompts page, and that's because I'm hosting Remento for my mom, Claudette, who I purchased Remento for and will be our storyteller. And that means I have the opportunity to customize her experience by selecting the prompts she'll respond to over the course of the year that she's got access to our product. So step number one is to pick what I want to learn about. I'm going to go ahead and press Add Prompts and see that I've got three options. The first is to upload a photograph, meaning that my mom will be asked to reflect on an image, whether that's a photograph of her childhood or a picture of a family trip or a photo of a family heirloom. The second option is a question from our question bank. And the last option is to create a poll among friends and family to learn exactly what others want to hear my mom talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and press Add Question, which is going to bring me to the Remento question bank. Now at Remento, we've teamed up with professional storytellers and memory scientists to develop questions designed specifically to stimulate the recall of unique and specific and often overlooked memories. So I'll begin by clicking on the childhood category, and you can see that Remento makes it really easy for me to pick and choose which questions I want to add. Now, in this case, I'm picking 2 questions for my mom, but if I bought Remento to document my own stories, the process would be the exact same. Once I'm satisfied with the selection, I can click Next, and I can see that those questions are now added into my mom's queue. That means the first prompt in the list will be sent to her on this coming Wednesday, and the next prompt will be sent to her the following Wednesday. Now, let's go back in and add a photograph. I'll click on Add Prompts again and then select the Upload a Photograph option. On this page, I can see that there are actually a few different ways to upload a photo. I can add a photo from Facebook, or I can add a photo from Instagram. Photos can be added via direct connection from either Google Drive or Dropbox, or I can manually upload a photo. So I'm going to go ahead and manually upload a photo that I have on my desktop. This right here is a photo of my parents from their wedding day. Unlike my wedding day, they only have 6 photos. I've got, I think, at least 6,000. If I want to make sure that my mom receives this prompt before the other 2 questions, all I have to do is drag that photo to the top of her queue. At the moment, we allow only 1 photo to be uploaded per prompt, but our team is actively working on making multiple photos available in the future. Also, we can default to 1 prompt sent per week, but you can also change that setting to be more frequent and on whatever days you'd like. Now, my sister actually has a ton of photos of my mom's childhood, so I'm going to go ahead and invite her to add some of those to my mom's queue as well. To do that, all I have to do is navigate to the Invite button at the top of the screen, and then I can add her email address and then press Invite. That will make her what we call a collaborator on the project, which means she can pick prompts and will be notified every time my mom creates a new story. Now, speaking of new stories, I want to bring you now over to what my mom will experience as a Remento storyteller, which is the same whether she received Remento as a gift or had purchased it for herself. You can see in the screen we're looking at her iPhone, and she's just received a new message from Remento that it's time to record a new story. Now, for the record, my mom signed up for both SMS messages and also emails, so she's receiving a notification when it's time to record on both her email and on her text messages. When she clicks on the notification and then clicks on the message itself, you can see that she's brought directly into the recording studio. Now you notice she's greeted by name without any logins or downloads or passwords. And that's because the recording experience is accessed via the secure link that was sent, meaning she can start her private recording in just a few taps. And this experience, for the record, can be done on any device whatsoever, including your smartphone or tablet or laptop. So she can press continue, and you'll see that the photo that I had uploaded from my desktop is on her screen, along with the request to tell Remento if she wants to record video or audio only. Now, one of the things we hear all the time from storytellers is how they don't want to be recorded on video. Whether it's a bad hair day or bad lighting, everyone seems to have a reason. And that's really a shame, because when we talk to families, they tell us how much they love video recordings. So to all my storytellers who are in the audience today, if you're willing to give a video recording a shot, your family will definitely thank you. So my mom selects video and then sees that she's being asked to tell the story behind the photo and sees the big red button to start recording. Whenever she's ready, she can press that big red button, and after a 3-second countdown, she is now recording. So she could record up to 30 minutes in a single session. And then she can press stop recording whenever she is either in need of a break or when she's done. From here, she can watch the recording, decide she wants to retake the recording or submit it. In this case, she did an excellent job. So she'll press submit, and that's it for her story. And as a quick reminder, she can record as many stories as she wants within the year that she has access to Remento. There is no limit whatsoever. Now, if she wants to, she does have two other options. First, she can record another story. She can catch up on prompts that she may have missed. She can respond to prompts that are trending on Remento, or she can even add prompts of her own. Or second, she can review her stories, which will move her from the recording experience back to the website where she can actually see where the stories live. Now, let's bring it back to my world. Because she has submitted a recording, I, along with all of her collaborators, receive an email letting us know that there's a new story to check out. You can see that Remento has automatically summarized the content of her recording and is inviting me to play the recording itself. Of course, I want to watch this, so I naturally click on that button, and I'm brought into my mom's Remento private website. And here you have it. On the left side, you see my mom is speaking about this photo, and on the right side, you can see that Remento has taken her recording and transcribed it word for word. You can see that the first sentence reads almost exactly the way it came out of her mouth, and that's because when I set up Remento for my mom, I indicated that I wanted Remento to provide her words exactly as she shared them. But if I click on Make Changes at the bottom of the right part of your screen, I'm now in what we call editing mode. I can see that the text as it appears here is fully editable, and I can make changes however I see fit. Or I can move my mouse to the top of the screen where it says AI Editing Tools and go ahead and click on that. So right now, you can see that this is set to cleaned transcript by default. That means we're using basically the words that came out of my mom's mouth. But I can change the story perspective to either first person or third person as well. If I select first person, that means that Remento's speech to story technology is going to take her words and turn them into a polished story, kind of as if she had hired a ghostwriter to write them using her exact words. So I'll go ahead and press first person, and you'll see that Remento is giving me an option to select the length of the story. I'll opt to make it a bit shorter, and then I'll press generate preview. And what Remento is now doing is turning that transcript into a restructured written narrative using my mom's language and tone, written as if she had sat down and written it herself. You can see that the first line reads, "The photo was taken on the happiest day of my life up until that point." Now let's go ahead and see what the third person looks like. I'm going to go ahead and tap cancel. And now I'll ask Remento to create a version of the story in the third person, and I'll use the same length. And now you can see that we have a new title and new story written for us, written as if a biographer was writing about Claudette in the third person. The first line you can now see reads, "This story captured the joy of the happiest day in Claudette's life so far." So this version is great. I'm going to go ahead and press update story, and then I'll confirm that I'd like it to replace the previous version of writing. And as a reminder, everything on this page is completely editable. Now, my mom has shared a really beautiful story here. We've got a wonderful story written. If I want to let her know how much the story means to me, I can click on the heart icon at the bottom of the screen. And doing so will allow me to send my mom a reaction message that the story she's just told is incredibly beautiful, which is going to be emailed directly to her. So I'm going to go ahead and send that message now. And just like that, my message has been sent. Now, my mom is a really prolific writer. Prolific storyteller, and she's been using Remento for a while. So if we close out of this page and head over to the story section of the private website, you can see that she's recorded dozens of stories. Some of them are from her childhood. Others are of a more recent photograph of her dropping me off at college, as an example. We've got a lot of images, actually, of family heirlooms as well that she's told the story behind. In her case, I've uploaded most of these photos into the prompts for her, meaning she was looking at them as she told the story. But photographs can also be uploaded to stories after they've been recorded, which is a really nice way of being able to bring the story to life. Speaking of ways to bring the stories to life, it's now time to go ahead and create our book. So if I press Order Books on the left-hand side, I can see that I'm brought to a screen where I can customize the cover of my mom's stories. So on this page, I can see that I can add a photograph to the front cover. I can customize the text. And I can also change the color of the book. And then I can press next. And here I'll have the opportunity to customize the inside of the book. I can specifically exclude stories from being included. I can reorder the stories that I'd like to include. I can drag them up and drag them down. And in her case, I'm doing that to be able to get them into roughly chronological order. And then I can tap next to confirm that I'm ready to move forward and preview a copy of the book. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see a preview exactly how this book is going to be laid out. We've got a table of contents at the top, and then each chapter includes a QR code. And what's, of course, really special about these QR codes is that when you scan them, you'll be able to actually hear the recording that was used to write each story. And I can show you exactly what that looks like. Right here is what my mom's Remento book actually looks like. You can see it's printed in color. It's 8 inches by 10 inches, and it's printed on double thick paper. And if anyone scans the QR code at the start of each chapter, they'll be able to play the recording that was used to write that story. That way, no one in your family, whether it's this year or 100 years from now, is ever going to be without these stories or the voices behind each one.